You ever see a man threaten murder over a latte? No, seriously. Imagine standing in line at a coffee bar in a fancy boutique mall just trying to decide between vanilla or caramel when out of nowhere someone growls, "You don't belong here," loud enough for the whole store to freeze. That's how this thing started. And trust me, it didn't end with a dirty look or a fake apology. It unraveled like a slow-motion car crash, except the fuel wasn't gasoline. It was hate. Sharp, ugly, unapologetic hate. And it was aimed, like a laser, at one man who had done absolutely nothing but exist, in the wrong skin, at the wrong time, in the wrong place, according to the people who decided they were judge and jury. Let me back up a sec. It was just after 2 on a Thursday. Sun was slanting through those oversized glass panels at the Galleria Plaza. You know the place. The kind of mall where a wallet cries just for being there. Clean floors, soft jazz playing overhead, people in tailored suits and manicured nails whispering over overpriced handbags. And in the middle of it all, Jordan Pace. Tall, early 30s, dressed casual, nothing flashy, jeans, sneakers, a navy pullover. He wasn't waving flags or causing a scene, just walking the electronics aisle, checking out headphones. But to one couple, a white man and woman in their late 40s, that was apparently a crime. They walked right up to him like he'd wandered into their private backyard. She goes first, voice like vinegar, shrill enough to cut glass. "Excuse me, but what are you doing here?" Like he was caught sneaking in through the back door. Jordan blinks, confused, smiles politely. "Just browsing," he says. Wrong answer. The man steps closer. "This isn't really your kind of place," he sneers, looking him up and down. Then the woman chimes in again, louder this time, sharp enough to turn heads. "People like you make shoppers uncomfortable. You know that sound? That quiet vacuum that sucks up all the noise in a room when something truly awful happens? Yeah, that." Around them, people start to notice. Glances over the shoulders, muffled whispers. But no one moves. No one speaks. You'd think someone would, but that's the thing. Moments like this freeze folks. They wait for a cue, for someone else to act. And that someone? Turns out he was standing just 3 feet away, pretending to check his phone. Elias Navarro, 55. Suit sharp as a razor, watch that could fund a startup. You'd never guess by looking at him that he was the founder of Solara Tech, one of the biggest clean energy firms on the West Coast. Billionaire, boardroom brawler, keynote speaker at Davos. You name it. And yet, in that moment, he wasn't any of those things. He was just another guy watching a train wreck. He says later that it took him 5 full seconds to understand what he was seeing. Another 2 to feel the heat rise in his neck. And 1 more to remember something his mother used to tell him. If you're not part of the fight, you're part of the silence. But here's where things took a sharp, hard turn. The woman, still seething, steps forward and jabs a finger into Jordan's chest. "If you don't walk away right now, I swear to God, you won't walk out at all." Let that sink in. That wasn't an insult. That was a threat. Clear as day. And that's when Elias moved. Slowly at first, slipping his phone into his pocket, then stepping forward with the kind of quiet gravity that makes people part like water. He stopped right between them, looked the woman in the eye and said, calm as anything, "Not in my store." Silence. Then chaos. The couple blinked like they'd been slapped. The man tried to laugh it off. "This doesn't concern you, buddy." But Elias didn't flinch. He turned slightly, just enough for everyone watching to catch the logo on his lapel. Solara Tech, bold and unmistakable. And then he spoke again, a little louder this time. "This man's not the problem. Your hate is. And we're done pretending that's okay." People around them? Phones came up, cameras rolled. The couple, realizing too late they were no longer the hunters but the hunted, started to backpedal. The woman muttered something about being misunderstood. The man tried to pull her away, but Elias wasn't done. He looked around the store, made sure every single eye was on him, and said, "This right here, this is what we let happen when we stay quiet. So let me be crystal clear. This will not stand. Not here, not anymore." Now, let me pause for a beat, because this is where most stories would roll credits. Villains retreat, hero speaks truth, crowd applauds. Done. But real life goes deeper. See, Elias didn't just walk away with a moral high ground and a viral video, he took it further. That same week, he called an emergency town hall at Solera Tech. Every department head, every manager, every intern, all hands. He told them what happened, played the video, and then he rewrote the playbook. Mandatory anti-bias and empathy training, not as punishment but as foundation. HR was overhauled, hiring practices re-examined, supplier diversity initiatives expanded. He invited local community leaders, from civil rights orgs to school counselors, to shape real, ongoing policy inside the company. But that's not the twist. The twist? It inspired others. Big names, Titan Corp, Argus Financial, even a rival firm. Yes, a company that once tried to poach Elias's CTO, reached out for guidance on reforming their own systems. And media? Oh, they ran with it. CEO stops hate in its tracks. Billionaire confronts racism in real time. The footage looped on news shows, op-eds flooded in, some called him brave, some said it was performative. But the one thing no one said he was wrong. Meanwhile, back at the mall, the store where it happened, management banned the couple permanently, issued a public apology, offered Jordan a lifetime VIP membership and even invited him to speak at a staff-wide workshop. Jordan, by the way, turns out he's a freelance journalist. And yeah, he wrote about the whole thing. His article, titled, "When Hate Met Its Match." But let me bring this home. That single moment, that confrontation, could have gone so many ways. Jordan could have walked away angry and alone. Elias could have looked down, kept scrolling his feed, and gone back to his cappuccino. Everyone else could have kept pretending they didn't hear it, but they didn't. One man stepped up. One man changed the narrative. And that's the part that sticks with me. Not the fight, not the footage, not even the fallout. It's that flicker of courage in a place where apathy usually wins. Because here's the truth. Change doesn't always start with a protest or a bill or a tweet. Sometimes, it starts in aisle 4, between noise-canceling headphones and a drip coffee display. So tell me, if it were you standing there, what would you have done? Would you look away? Would you wait for someone else? Or would you step forward? Because in the end, whether you're a billionaire or just someone trying to make it through the day, the question's the same. When hate shows up in your world, do you stay silent? Or do you say, not in my store? Now I want to hear your thoughts. Was Elias right to intervene the way he did? Should CEOs use their influence like that? Have you ever seen something like this unfold in real life? Drop your opinion in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going, because silence, that's the real enemy.